this space. Today's episode is extra special because we are welcoming back a very familiar face. Our special guest has already launched two incredible products right here on Flight Launch, and I'm very excited to have him return with his latest brainchild. But wait, he's not the only one. And this episode is like no other launch. It's where the warm sunshine meets the forest, like the Avengers coming together to save the world. Get what I mean? No, don't worry, it'll all make sense in a little while. But before we dive into all the excitement, please grab some popcorn while I go over a few housekeeping rules. Feel free to fire off any questions during the presentation by simply typing them in the Q&A section. Flight launch is also being recorded, so if your friends or colleagues missed it, they can always catch it later online. And if you are facing bandwidth issues, don't worry, we are also streaming this event live on YouTube and LinkedIn. So, all right, let's not keep you waiting any longer. Please join me in welcoming our speakers for the day. So, our first guest today is a very popular face in the small little drone world. He is currently the CEO of Anzu Robotics. He has spent more than 10 years working for some of the largest drone manufacturers and pioneering the expanded use of commercial drone technology. He is one of the most unique perspectives in the industry, and having founded DJI Enterprise, spent nearly 5 years promoting aerial thermal imaging at FLIR, and was formerly the head of several other OEMs, including the CEO of Hotel Robotics. Please join me in welcoming Randall, the CEO of Anzu Robotics. Hello, Randall. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here and excited to talk about our little cog in the wheel of making this whole new collaboration happen. So thank you again.
Thanks, Randall. My next guest is none other than Kurt Larry, the CEO and founder of Hextronics, a mechanical engineer from Miami. Curtis studied at the Georgia Institute of Technology. With his passion for robotics and product development, he started Hextronics back in 2020 and has been redefining the design of battery exchanging drone stations ever since. Hi, Kurt. It's a pleasure to have you back at the show. Welcome back.
Hi, Vaishali. Always a pleasure to be here with you. And I couldn't be more excited to talk about what we've been building here together today.
And last but certainly not the least, I'm also excited to introduce my colleague Achal, our Director of Business Development. He'll be sharing today how all the magic comes together. And I'll first invite him to kick things off by giving us some context around FlytBase's vision in the industry. So over to you, Achal.
Awesome. Great to be here. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining. I can already see a lot of people here who have joined us. And let's kick things off. So, of course, I want to quickly set the context here, right? This is something that we've been talking about for a while, but it's always good to repeat and set the context. That the fundamental change that we're seeing in the industry is that drones so far were never part of enterprise infrastructure as such. But drone data was, but not the drones as the entire device or the technology. But as we are moving to autonomy, dogs would be. And let me take a deeper dive into this before we launch the products for today. So looking at specifically the drones and the docking stations, we were never talking about connected networks, IT networks, integration with systems, alarms, IoT, 4G, 5G. Because at the end, we had a pilot who was flying the drone at that particular site. All they had to do is take care of all the regulations, be compliant, fly safe, get back to their office or home, upload the data, and boom, the job is done. But today, when we are deploying these automated systems, they are sitting on a customer side, talking to their network, right? Sharing data, talking to their ERP systems. A lot has changed over the last 3-4 years as the dogs are getting adopted. And it's no longer just about drones, docking station, or the data processing software. There are several components that come together to create an autonomous solution. And all of this need to come together in a coherent way so you can deploy these automated drones at scale. And that is what FlytBase has been building, as you may know of, where we provide the entire glue where you can bring the right components together and piece them together to create a solution for construction, security, DFR, mining, and so on. And that is where the core difference comes in with the FlytBase approach, where it is not an application, it's not a monolith where you would have to do the integration again with different hardware, different software, BVLOS compliance, data security. All of that is taken care by the base platform, and which gives you flexibility to focus on your end use case and deploy these docking stations for multi-use case scenarios. And the key difference here is we have been providing the entire infrastructure that enables users with different types of hardware and software. And today we are here to talk about the latest new hardware that is available in the market today. Of course, we are offering the entire apps, tools, services on top of that. So you as a system integrator can integrate these systems with various applications. Compared to just offering an application which would just run for a specific use case and has been designed specifically to cater to a particular use case or end user application. So to deep dive today, we are launching a new drone and a docking station on the Flight Launch platform and bringing compatibility in the FlytBase platform. To do that, let me invite Randall and Kurt in that order to help us get more understanding of these hardware products.
Perfect.
Randall.
Okay, so thank you for having me again, and I'll just walk you quickly through what Anzu Robotics is and what products that we've brought to market. We're a relatively new manufacturer. We launched the company and the two products that we started with back in April of this year, but they are quite familiar products. So basically, with the pressures of using Chinese manufactured drones in the United States and throughout the world, we've taken the approach that this technology should not be dismissed or forgotten about, and instead we found a way to revive it and basically keep the longevity of using this highly touted, inexpensive and full of feature technology, drone technology for the world. So we license technology from DJI, and then we manufacture that technology in Malaysia. We do make changes on the sourcing of the componentry so that we can get made in Malaysia status, and so that helps us get through the point of country of origin concerns, as well as company of origin concerns that exist in different legislations in the United States, again, and around the world. So Anzu Robotics intends to expand our portfolio beyond the products that we have today. But if you move to the next slide, we could talk about what we launched back in April and what we're going to be showing here today in the collaboration with FlytBase and Hextronics. So we have two platforms, the Raptor and the Raptor T. These are based off of the Mavic 3 Enterprise and Mavic 3 Thermal platforms by DJI. So basically, you have an RGB capture mapping type product with the Raptor, and then the Raptor T has that 640 by 512 thermal imaging capabilities. But basically, the user experience and the stability of flight and the quality of the data capture are all going to be one-to-one the same with what you've come to expect from DJI products. It's just not, the data is not owned by DJI. It's not shared with DJI. And we are a US-based company in which puts data security at the forefront of everything we do. If you want to move to the next slide, I'll just talk a little bit about the features of what these products do, as we're talking about, in this case, a drone in a box solution, having the ability to go and capture data, return home, switch batteries, continue the mission, etc. With these products, we have 45 minutes of flight time and 9 miles range of control, which are part of that DJI industry leading specifications that we've brought into the Anzu Robotics products. But like I mentioned before, all the data is secured on AWS East servers that are owned by our software partner Aloft, which has written the native app that is part of the Raptor flying experience. When I say that no data is shared with DJI, it's not only no flight data, flight capture data, photos, imagery, etc., but also no customer data. There's no sell-through data. There's a complete separation between Anzu Robotics and DJI beyond the licensing agreement, although the product is quite familiar. And then there is a departure away from what you might have come to expect with our licensing partner, which is that we don't have geofencing on the any of the products that we fly. So we basically put the responsibility on the pilot to know their airspace and know where they are authorized to fly, so that you aren't stuck in a situation in which you have to receive approvals or apply for the ability to fly in challenged or restricted airspace. So I think that all of those things make it so that an enterprise solution like we're talking about today is more feasible, because you're not dealing with any of those restrictions to fly where you need to fly when you need to fly. Hopefully that's a good rundown. Kurt, I think you're the next on yeah, there we go for Hextronics. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Randall. It was a
course.
pleasure meeting you earlier this year at AVSI, and that's when we first got our hands on the little guy. But we'll talk about that just a bit later. I'm sure if anyone here has been following Hextronics for a while, we've been talking about the Universal for some time, as we've been developing it kind of with partners across the world, leveraging some of and basically all of the knowledge that we've gained throughout our journey as a company, just starting a few years back. And so we can go where the journey begins, which is right in Miami, Florida. That's our garage where Hextronics started, and where we're currently supporting the Atlas and Universal drone stations that are deployed across the world. And we're doing this with quite a small team of about 30 engineers, technicians, developers, right here in Miami, in about 5,000 square feet that you see on the factory floor. So we design, build, and ship everything out of this small little factory. But it all started a little bit before with the global. Any diehard fans of the drone industry will remember Flight Launch 0.0, or whatever we're calling it, which is when we unveiled the Universal, the world's smallest and most compact battery swapping drone station, initially supporting the Mavic 2. And from then, we've gotten outreach from across the world. This system has actually been deployed in over 25 countries with hundreds of units sold. The picture on the top left is actually right in the back of a pickup in Miami Beach. And then on the top right, that's over in Italy. And so from the global, we learned a lot about what it takes to make a drone station, what makes a really powerful system, and what makes something that could really last the tales of time, and what would make it a lot easier to be designed for the end user. So we took all of that knowledge and put it right into the Universal, which is now the world's most efficient drone nest, with over 10 configurations and one of the quickest battery swap times ever announced. And we're proud to say that its technical specifications match what we've been operating under, and so that's essentially something that can fit right in the bed of a pickup. 2 people can easily carry it. It can survive a wide range of temperatures, mainly because of the attention to detail that our team has put into on the HVAC system within the nest, that actually uses a compressor-based coolant in order to maintain the drone station's temperature in some of the toughest environments. And from there, we actually got started with making the mold. So one of the things that you'll notice the most about the Universal is how there is a shell that goes around the outside that is easily removable for any kind of service, or even just really helps the team here actually manufacture it better. And it got started primarily because we had a variety of different groups coming to us saying, hey, we want a drone station for this drone, want a station for this drone, and they're all somewhat of the same form factor as the Mavic. And so we said, why make a different station for each of these different drones when we can just make one nest that's universal? So that's what we did. And a lot of people came to us and said, and it also has to fit on the roof of a car, because I want to take off like Batman and have a drone come out of the top. So we made it look like somewhat of a car top carrier. and we even hand sanded the mold ourselves that we used to vacuum mold the shell out of about a 1/4 inch thick sheet of ABS material. And we do that right here in Miami as well. And then once we got the mold, then came time to fly. And so we took all of the integrated circuitry and knowledge that we learned from the Global and the Atlas in order to make a very powerful, highly reliable drone station that can swap the battery in record time and for a record amount of times. And so this is right here flying in our testing facility, where we actually got one of the world's most advanced BVLOS waivers that enables for beyond visual line of sight operation without a visual observer or a remote detect and avoid capability. And so then, speaking about the vehicle mounted solution, we needed to take this and test it and break it in as many ways as possible. And so inside the nest, instead of relying on any kind of belt drive systems that could get shifted over time, we've got highly reliable and sturdy lead screws that enable for extremely high precision and high reliability over time. And so you'll notice that the universal fits in the bed of a truck as well as on the roof. And for both of these deployments, it works great when you pull up to a construction site or one of the construction sites on your hit list throughout the day to do your weekly scan or to respond to an emergency when the time calls. And then we had to take it across the world. So we've brought in the Universal in a variety of different environmental conditions. It's already survived a few tropical storms down here in Miami, quite a few different dust storms across the world, as well as a variety of extremely cold weather conditions way up north. And so this unit already has been in operation for over a year, deployed in a variety of different countries and continents. And you'll see that we've really taken our time with this system to perfect it. On the next slide, you'll even see that some of the horses in the back come together in the same picture. We call that the unicorn shot. It's like a unicorn with a horse. We tend to, and that was not the best joke, but we'll see. We'll see how it's felt out. And so typically deploying these universals, it can be mounted on the ground, on the bed of a truck, or on the rooftop of a building. We tend to really love being deployed on the rooftop of buildings because the signal strength is the best and you get the widest range with your drone. And not only has this been deployed locally in the US, but also across the world with some of the most leading edge providers of drone solutions, as well as people that are keeping countries safe. So one use case that I'd like to highlight is from our friends at Autostrada, particularly the technology group Mavion has just recently released their findings and testing with Hextronic's drone-in-a-box systems, where they've done thousands of planned missions and on-call that enables them to cover a few thousand kilometers. And with this, they have substantial increase in their detection efficiency and decrease in their intervention time, which at the end of the day results in a safer community and lower costs for the operators. And then when we got our hands on the Anzu that Randall so kindly let us hold at AUVSI, we realized that we weren't too far off from an instant integration. And so we got quick to work. It wasn't too much to change, but I wouldn't say we were sleeping on the job, more we were working while we were asleep. And we quickly got the Anzu right there in the Universal, already swapping and ready to go. So if we pull up the next video, we'll see the full compatibility of the Universal with the Anzu hardware. And of course, precision landing by FlytBase. So this is the internal gantry system within the unit that's been cycled for well over 5,000 cycles and swapped battery in 8 seconds. You're ready to go on your next mission in about 2 minutes. Here we go. And that's how we got here today. But I would like to just give a little bit of a recollection to the Atlas and some of the advances that we've made with this product over the past year. With this drone station, we've also highly decreased the overall cycle time. It used to be 8 minutes way back in the day, and now this unit actually can swap the battery in about 60 seconds. So you've got well under a 3-minute total cycle time from land to launch. And from this, it is one of the most powerful drone nests still on the planet, with the variety of different payloads and configurations that the Atlas can sustain. So in the next video is a short demo of a hot swap capability that the Atlas has. Nice. But yeah, so with the Atlas, we have the capability of hot swapping the drone, so we'll never need to turn it off. We just swap one battery at a time. And so with that, we're still extremely excited to support our Atlas and Universal products across the world well throughout 2024 and beyond. Back to you, Achal. Thank you for the time.
Great, Kurt, Randall, for sharing that. I think the combination that this creates for the market, right, with a sophisticated docking station, which has been proven, right, and with the drone, which is also well accepted, and clearing all the doubts in terms of the country of origin, as well as the entire autonomy piece, is really, really useful for the market. And I'm sure audience would find it really exciting, because this is something which can help them deploy it for multiple use cases, be it like critical infrastructure, public safety, or any use case where they're facing these kind of challenges. Now, moving forward, I would also like to put some focus on the software for flight operations. So while FlytBase provides a drone autonomy piece, we would like to highlight few additional features and updates that we've been making to the platform, which is now also coming to Anzu Raptor as well as Hextronic drone combination. So over the years, of course, we have helped our customers and partners set up these kind of command control center. There are several elements, be it like mission planning, integration with air traffic, weather data, admin and operation view, fleet view, and so on. And one of the fundamental things that allows our partners to have these automated systems is precision landing period. Because without this, your autonomous operation is of no use. Imagine going there and putting a drone back on the station. It defeats the purpose. And that is where FlytBase provides the best precision landing technology, where we have mastered it through tens of thousands of landings. Now it can survive superior wind resistance. It is designed for night as well as low visibility conditions. So we use the combination of vision and RTK to precisely land the drone every time in the docking station. And for the extreme situations, we have advanced fail-safes where drone would go back and land on the safe location for emergency situations. Now, with specifically enterprise integrations coming in, or enterprises adopting this, we need to, of course, go deeper into that and understand how you can integrate Hextronic Universal with different kind of systems. And that is where FlytBase earlier this year introduced Flinks, and we are bringing Flinks to Hextronic Universal. Flinks are the connectors for third-party applications where you can integrate alarms, data processing, live streaming software, and soon you'd be able to integrate mission logging, detect and avoid, and UTMs as well. So FlytBase provides entire APIs as well as ready integrations with several softwares around the globe, so you can use the docking stations with your existing software as well. Let me tell you how. So number one is, as you're deploying these docking stations, the number one use case that we have found is responding to alarms, because responding to alarms is very expensive, where you could have a motion sensor on a site, you could have a distributed acoustic sensor or a gas pipeline, you could have a yard management system and you're managing trucks or you're managing rail yard, or you could have a computer-aided dispatch system. FlightBase can integrate with these third-party systems and always listen to the heartbeat of the alarm source. As soon as the alarm goes off, we get that location on the dashboard, and a drone could be triggered to that particular location for the emergency response. Let's take a deeper look. So number one is we have the entire Flink library where you can create your different Flinks, in this case, alarm Flinks. So you can integrate your motion sensors, perimeter fence, perimeter CCTV. And as you know, FlightBase is hardware agnostic. You can integrate with any kind of systems which are available in the market. We have created a standard platform where it can easily integrate with third-party sensors. Let me tell you how. So you can go to alarm settings and you can create different kind of APIs or JSON requests where you can send the timestamp, severity, description of that alarm sensor, latitude, longitude, and bunch of different details. And once this is integrated, FlightBase can keep listening to those alarm sensors. These could be hardware devices, this could be software devices as well. This could be anti-drone system deployed on your site where you can send that data to the system and then get that message on the dashboard and deploy a drone. So this is how you get an alarm notification in the FlightBase. In this case, you can see there's an alarm camera there where it's already sending the location. So you immediately see the location of that alarm on your site on the map, and you have option to send the drone. But wait, that's not it. You can, of course, create an automated workflow where you can select the alarm, you can select the camera, you can perform an automated mission. And this will create an entire workflow for you where every time that alarm is triggered, a drone would automatically respond and reach to that particular location. So FlightBase allows to create you these flows with these integrations, which are called Flinks. Once the drone reaches there, we of course offer entire functionality where you can manually control the drone and payload through the joystick, through the keyboard, through a professional joystick like Thrustmaster. So we have a recommended list of joystick. If you're looking to use it for professional use cases, you can integrate that. We have also introduced team collaboration. So as you're flying these missions, you can have your entire team and see who all are looking at this live video feed or this mission. And you can chat internally through FlightBase. So no need of using any other technology or having on the phone call or something like this. FlightBase has inbuilt audio chat available where you can chat with your entire team and plan your operation. Not just that, if you have some people who are not part of your team, you can create a QR code or a link or share it via email where they would be able to see the live video feed and the location of the drone on their laptop, mobile phone, tablet, and so on. Plus, you have entire team on the site and you want to quickly annotate something. So you can put an annotation, describe that you noticed something, and it would be available and visible to all the teammates who are there on the live mission. Next up, the requirement that usually comes up is customers would like to integrate this live video stream to a third-party software. And FlightBase provides the entire live streaming Flink, which allows you to share RTSP and RTMP video feed with third-party software. So here you can integrate things like VMS. So any popular video management systems, be it Genetec, Milestone, and so on, you can get the live video feed and integrate it with a video management system. This is very useful because as enterprises adopt this, they would not share the entire drone control with everybody in their organization. They may already have their live video wall or command center where they're seeing CCTV footages, they are seeing live video feed from the drone, and so on. So you can create the entire view for them using the video streaming Flink. You can also share this data to the AI detection feature that FlightBase offers. And you can share it with a third-party AI detection service as well, where you can stream the live video feed and detect objects on the live video feed. Next up is data processing Flinks, and this is where we have partnered with key players in the industry, so you don't have to worry about integrating your automated drones with every software. So be it Pix4D, Drone Deploy, Skybrowse, Skycraft, we have those integrations already available in FlightBase. We have already launched Pix4D and Drone Deploy, and next of them would be coming for the Hextronic Universal. You would get all those in your Flink library where you can just go there, add, configure those features with your Universal, and you would be able to fly the drones as well as process the data to create a 3D map. Let me show you a quick video of Pix4D. So Here you would see that you have the Pix4D Flink right on your Flink bar. Once you go over there, you can see that the data that has been collected is already uploaded. So you have the entire functionality to upload that data, and then as you click on this, it sends the entire data to Pix4D, and then Pix4D can help you create the entire 3D model. So you can use the softwares like Pix4D, Drone Deploy, ArcGIS, and so on with the data processing Flink to create these kind of 3D models or orthomosaics. So any software that you're using today with your drone, you can easily use it with Raptor as well as Universal together. So FlightBase as a platform would enable that for you and have all these integrations ready for your use case. Next up, let's talk about flight safety in this case. So FlightBase has already provided the entire geofence, fail-safes, no-fly zone, as well as dynamic path planning. Plus, it also enables entire integrations with for the BVLOS enablement. So whether you like to integrate detect and avoid technologies, additional ADSB, UTMs, onboard connectivity, parachute integration, all of that is already available in FlightBase and can be leveraged for your BVLOS enablement. We have also introduced parachute integrations with different drones. So ABS is already integrated. So any drone you're using in the world, if it has a parachute, we can integrate that as well. Next up is data security, which is also important. So we already covered data security aspects from the drone manufacturer's side. Let's also look at what software can do in this part. So the number one thing that we introduced earlier this year is FlightBase Shield. And Shield has 4 pillars where it provides you the entire protocols as well as infrastructure where your data is entirely secure. So you have the infra security available where each of the data that we are collecting through the dashboard is encrypted. You have continuous backup. You have the entire operation and access available with OAuth 2.0, role-based access, incident response, as well as monitoring. You have options to set firewalls for communication channels, prevent unauthorized access, restrict malicious attackers, and block communication with any unauthorized servers. FlightBase has also taken help from third-party assessment companies where we have given our software to test, and we have complete reports available for partners and customers where it has been tested for vulnerabilities as well as any potential hacks. We are already SOC 2 Type 2 compliant along with ISO 27001 and GDPR. So in case if you're looking to deploy it for an enterprise who is looking for these kind of compliances, we have the ready certifications available with the FlightBase platform. We are also coming up with a new feature in FlightBase, which would be able to help you do the entire diagnosis of where your docking stations are connecting. And it provides you entire view, which are the servers which are getting blocked, how many events that have been blocked, which are the countries it's reaching out to, as well as you can have the entire denial list of the entire servers that you don't want drone or the software to reach out to. This is very useful, and we'll be rolling out this feature in next month where you'd be able to see this in the FlightBase dashboard. We would also provide the detailed maintenance dashboard where you'd be able to monitor the entire data received, data sent, how much you have downloaded, uploaded, what's the data received on the secondary LAN, and so on. So you can monitor that and predict what kind of usage you would need in terms of your network, as well as there are certain areas where you have low bandwidth, low connectivity. Some of the deployments that have happened is on Starlink, which of course is a great tool but offers limited bandwidth. Now you can use these tools to optimize this inside FlightBase, and we'll be rolling this feature soon in the FlightBase platform. Next up, which is the flexible deployment option. So we already spoke about cloud, but there are other options to deploy FlightBase as well. So any customer who is looking for added level of security, they can go for an on-premise deployment. So they can self-host FlightBase on a private server for a highly secure and confidential projects, meet all the cybersecurity compliance requirements, and have the complete data over their control. So FlightBase can be deployed at your servers, and you can completely monitor that on your site. Of course, on-premise systems will require internet. But in the rare cases where you're deploying in an area where you have zero internet connectivity, FlightBase has launched air gap solution, which allows you to have the entire system running on an isolated network. So no communication to the external world, and it's entirely running on a private server. And we offer a perpetual license which could be deployed on a particular server systems. We of course have our in-country cloud offering. Our servers are based in the US, so you can also choose in-country cloud and have your own data storage integrated if you need so. So as you can see, FlytBase provides different options for different kind of use cases and have that entire platform available to you, so you can configure the solution as per your requirement. With that, let's see if we have the video ready there, or we have a demo upcoming. Card would
Yeah.
we able to do something?
Yeah, I should be able to share my screen.
Okay, sure.
Let's see. Okay, let me know if everyone can see it. We've got a uni right here at Hextronics, right in Miami, Florida. This is where we flight test all of our systems. We do have approval with the airspace, if anybody's asking. And we're just going to start a quick little mission. We've got the Anzu inside the uni, and we're going to fly the HQ demo mission. So these are all the flight checklist items that are to be approved, and we've got everything taken care of. And so from here, you'll really see kind of the inside of the nest begin to open up, bring the drone out, and prepare for the mission. You can see on the left side, FlytBase provides all of the telemetry you could really ever need during your flight for both the Universal as well as the Raptor. So you can see the drone station just opened up. We are right now in the parking lot, but it makes it really easy to test. Our landlords happily don't give too big of issues, but it just lets us really put the cycles on the units. And we're off. So you can see this is just one of the missions we fly all the time. And it's a pretty nice day, a little cloudy. It could be sunnier, but it is the summer in Miami, and so we should get some pretty bad rainstorms later today.
Right. And just to add to that, you're seeing a cockpit view here. So the entire view has been designed where you can see the direction of the drone. You know the flight time that has been pending on the top. You have the payload control to share there, so you know who is controlling it. And of course, you have the live location on the map. In case you want to remove everything, you can also select hide controls and everything would be moved off there. So it gives you a clear picture in case you're in a mission, looking at a particular incident or so on.
Mm-hmm. And then from here, you'll see a few other. We also fly the Atlas and a couple other Universals here, so you'll see these when we come down for landing.
While it's doing that, on the left side, you can see that every drone card or the information card has been designed. We have done a lot of iteration on this, and Kurt would remember how it used to look like before.
Mm-hmm.
But these things have been designed in terms of what kind of data you need upfront for remote operations. Because as we are deploying this on remote side, you need to know the right data handy. And we are continuously making those upgrades where you can see the battery remaining, right? If there are any health warnings that you need to worry about, if there is a loss of power on the docking station, it's running on UPS and so on. All that information is available on the left panel very precisely, and it automatically gets highlighted in case there is a warning or a issue that you need to take care of.
Mm-hmm. And now we're coming in for landing. I don't know if I'll ever get tired of this.
Yes, beautiful scenes. Always get to land all the time.
Safe back home, back in the nest, and we're getting ready for the next one.
Awesome. Great, Kurt. Thank you for sharing that. So, yes, we have covered it all. I think we are almost at the end. Should we close it here or do we have something else?
No, we have something else. Ajay, can you bring back the presentation?
Okay, awesome. Let me just put it back. And of course,
Yes. Oh shit. So,
Vaishali speaks for the audience.
yes, I know you have a lot of questions, and I can already see the questions pouring in the Q&A tab. But I already knew that this is going to be one common question that's going to be in everyone's mind. So, what's going to be the price of this combination? And yeah, I know you're all waiting for this big moment where we reveal the price of this incredible combo. But before we drop in the numbers, just let's take a second to appreciate what we are talking about here. We've got a very sleek portable battery swapping docking station from Hextronics. We have the Anzu Robotics Green Machine, and obviously the FlytBase's drone autonomy software platform, a 1 year subscription. So, are you all ready to find out how much this powerhouse costs? Why don't I get a why don't
Yes.
a few of
Yeah.
you drop a guess in the comments? Like, what is your guess? Let's just take a guess from people. What do you think? How much is it going to be? Come on, everyone. Oh, okay. So we have one which is in the range of 50 to 90. We have one around 70K, one around 12, 40, 15. Keep them coming. Kurt, are you watching? Randall, are
I'm
you watching?
watching. I'm watching. I'm watching.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, do we need the drum roll, Vaishali?
Yes, yes. So, can we have the drum roll, please?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go to the next slide and let's be ready.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep, the pricing for the Raptor Universal and FlightBase subscription for a year is 39,999. Kurt, is that it?
Vaishali,
Kurt,
what are
is
you
that
doing?
it?
Are you ripping these people off? What are we gonna do about this? This is crazy.
Yes, yes, and come on, we've with all our previous launches, we've already always had something special for our flight launch audience today. So is this it?
If you can do something, for me, Vaishali, let's give the people something better, please.
Okay. So why don't we give everyone a special prize today? Let Achal, can you please reveal the next? Yay!
What?
Kurt, I love the jump. So yes,
Oh,
I think everyone should be jumping from on their and in their seats right now. So this price of the Raptor T Universal and 1 year flight based subscription will be available for 29,999 for a limited period only. So if anybody would like to get their hands on this wonderful combination, please feel free to reach out to any of the organizations. In the next slide, we have all the email IDs. You're also going to drop them in the chat window. Kurt, if you would like to give some email ID along as well, please do so. And
mhm.
I think we've got a lot of questions, lot of them. So I will just jump into the Q&A section. We have around, and everybody loved the discount. Thanks, Lucas. And there's a question around, is this price for an end user or a reseller? So Kurt, would you like to take that question?
Sure. Yep. This is end user pricing, and so this is the price built for scale.
Right.
So thanks, Kurt. I'll move on to a few other questions. So I'll start off with Randall. So Randall, there's a question around um, what is the value proposition for someone, a European-based operator, using a fleet of Anzu Raptor T instead of a DJI Mavic 3T?
I think that really what we built is something that is going to have greater longevity with concerns around geopolitics. If you are in a country in which does not have any geopolitical concerns about things that are manufactured in China and the relationship with China, China data security, etc., then you would buy DJI products. I would. There's no reason not to if you are not constrained by geopolitics today. as we expand and go into other future developed products, there are going to be more differentiators, and we'll be able to kind of enumerate what those are. But you're getting a DJI like experience. You're getting a DJI quality product with the same reliability. With Anzu Robotics, the only real key differentiators are on the software side, in which you could say, that's more preferential, and then it would be on the geofencing, which is really the only thing that really, when you put the two side by side and fly them in the same way, that you would find as a difference. So if you're in Europe and you don't care, you could keep buying DJI.
And a follow-up question to that, Randall, is the firmware running on Anzu drones completely rewritten, or does it still have some core elements from the DJI drones? Yeah.
Yeah. So part of the licensing agreement with DJI is that we were provided two things on the software front. One, we were provided a firmware, which is what tells the motors to spin at a certain speed and how data is captured, etc. We basically took that firmware and put it on AWS servers, and we went through it and basically changed anything that would communicate or have any ties back to DJI. So it's been a modified custom version of the firmware, and we don't intend to change that through the life cycle of the Raptor series products, unless there's a major catastrophe. But because these are built off of pretty mature airframes that have been flown for multiple years, we don't anticipate safety issues, and so without safety issues, we'll likely keep the firmware the same. The other piece of software we received was an SDK, which the mobile SDK that we have built our apps off of, we did have to go through and do a lot of modification, changing the endpoints of where data points from DJI servers to these AWS servers that are owned by Aloft. So it's the code that's written for these things, of course, it came from DJI, because this is what powers those airframes and what makes it perform in the way that we expect it to perform. But again, it's been modified, customized, and secured so that there's no ability for DJI or anyone else after the fact to do alterations, modifications, detract data from going where it's supposed to go elsewhere. And we've validated that through a third-party penetration test that we have the report posted on our website, and we felt like it was important to kind of show and prove that we made those adjustments because of the exact question that was posed, which is, what part of the software came from DJI? We received something from DJI to make this work, but we have changed it so that it is rid of any of that communication component.
All right. I think I'll segue a little to Kurt. Kurt, there is a question around, do you envision a maritime rendition of Hextronic's Nest?
Mm-hmm. We've been approached a few times to put it on a boat or onto a large craft like a yacht or a large, like a tanker, or even something that's an oil rig overseas, and all of that is possible. There is a bit of configuration that would be necessary, obviously mounting the drone station to the actual equipment. But with the stability of something like the Anzu, it's 100% possible.
Yes, great. And there's another location request, that is whether this can be used in indoor environments such as a warehouse as well.
Yes, Ashal will know that one of the very first things we worked on together was in warehouses, particularly with a battery swapping drone station. So this will work great indoors or outdoors.
All right. Achal, I have a few questions around for you as well. So with regards to Flinks, we have a question around if the system can interact with ArcGIS. I think we've recently signed partnership with Esri as well. So yeah.
Yes. Right. So data processing Flink is pretty horizontal and straightforward. We have that available with us, and we'll be launching ready integrations that we have done already with Drone Deploy, with Pix4D, and now we'll be rolling out with S3, ArcGIS, and other software as well. In case you're using it right now and you're getting your universal in next week, please feel to contact us. We'll be able to help you integrate that on one-to-one basis, but we'll be rolling out integrations with other software in about a couple of months.
And there's another question around, is the RTK landing configurable?
Hmm.
Yep. So let's
Yeah.
see. I mean, we can
Go ahead.
talk about it with the RTK with the Mavic 3 or the Anzu. Also works with the DRTK2 station, as well as I believe FlytBase and the team have got some working with the N-Trip network. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So we have those integrations and advanced algorithms available, which can fuse the data together from vision, from RTK, all together to always give you a precise landing. And of course, the Hextronic station has been designed with all the feedback for the aerodynamic nature of the drone as it comes closer to the ground with that stand, with that airflow. So we have taken it care both from the software piece of it as well as the aerodynamic hardware piece of it as well.
Achal, there's a question around what will happen if the drone, the Anzu Raptor T, loses its GPS signal?
Hmm. So that is common with every drone. So where it's like Mavic 3 or Raptor T. So if it loses GPS log, of course, it goes into the alternate positioning mode where it tries to hover there with the data that the drone is getting through the barometer. So the usual behavior that you get with any drone, if that loses GPS, you can expect the same.
Mhm. I hope none of the self-driving Teslas lose GPS anytime soon.
Right.
All right. I think we've covered most of the questions. There are a few questions for Kurt around. So, what's going to be the timeline? So, how long is this limited offer going to be available for? And the second question is, once people order, what is the lead time for delivery?
Yep, this offer is available through the end of next week, and the lead time is 2 to 4 weeks.
Awesome. And Kurt, do you want to share something about the warranty and what are the other pieces which are provided alongside with the station? Maybe that is also helpful. And usually we get asked those kind of questions as well.
Yep, there's all units come with a 1 year full functional warranty. Anything breaks, we'll ship out a new one next day. And it comes with a 5 year structural warranty on critical components such as the shell of the nest. So if a tree falls on it or something like that, we've got your back covered to help replace it.
Awesome. That's useful. Yeah. Great.
All
I
right.
think,
Yes.
okay. We have,
Achal, there is one question around the subscription cost for FlightBase, if you would like to address.
right. So the subscription price from the next year is 4,999 as a retail price for per year. So you can get the enterprise subscription of FlightBase, which already comes with the flings that we shared, the alarm fling, the video streaming fling, and all the features. And you can go and check out the enterprise features list on flightbase.com/pricing.
Thank you, everyone, for your questions and joining in today. We had a lovely audience, lovely crowd. Thank you so much for spending this kind of time with us. Kurt, Randall, if you would like to share some closing thoughts before we end the session.
I will share a thought. I think that after spending 10 years in the drone space and hearing about what folks were trying to do back in 2014 with drones, which were pretty simple, get a payload to interact with the drone, be able to capture while in flight, to longer flight times, to where we're at today, where we're swapping batteries, we're live streaming, we're collecting data and making, doing photogrammetry on the fly. There is so much that we've done as an industry, and we've done it not by one company. We've done it not by a small subset of minds. It's really been the whole industry providing feedback, giving it to folks that have ingenuity and entrepreneurship and are willing to go and take the risk to build companies around this. So what I will say is I'm grateful that for both the Hextronics and FlightBase teams to take the technology that I'm building and basically build a bridge to where it can do more. And as we look at, around our industry, as we attend events, we should realize that in every corner there's someone that you can leverage and someone that you can partner with and someone that you can make your solutions even better. And if you're a drone service provider or an end user, that you should be also thinking about this in the same way, where why do we just need to have a single operator going out to a place, flying their mission, taking it back to their home computer, processing the data? There's so many ways in which we can educate people on what drones can do. And through this conversation today, we've shown that drones are doing more by the day, and sometimes it comes unexpectedly. So grateful to be a part of it. Grateful to have the opportunity to have an audience to show a little bit about what we're building. But really, this is about you two other organizations building that bridge and making drones do more than just fly and take pictures.
Before Kurt, Randall, there are a few questions around how can people get their hands on Raptor. So I think that will be great to share. Also, is it available outside of US? Because I think somebody asked if it's available in Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we launched, we just wanted to focus on the US and Canadian markets, not only because of the geopolitical pressures that exist here, but also just to make sure that we've got it right. It's kind of all in one home base. But we anticipate within the next few months that we'll be expanding internationally, pretty much worldwide. There are some areas which have different certification requirements in which we have not done, but for the most part, we have those things covered. So I would say by the end of 2024, you'll see Raptor drones all over the place. As far as getting your hands on one, if you are in the United States or Canada, we leverage the reseller network substantially. So if you have local dealers of drone technology, they likely have access to Anzu stuff and can get you some hands-on experience. I have a few demo units myself that I send around the world, but right now, because it's kind of trade show season, I'm reeling more of those back in so that we could have those at events so people can see them and get more interaction where drone people are coming together. So if you're going to be at Commercial UAV Expo in Las Vegas in September, that would be one great place to kind of chat with all three of our entities and get some experience on what the app looks like.
Thanks again, Randall. Yes, we are all going to be at Commercial UAV Expo. Our booth is right next to the main aisle, so it's booth number 521. And obviously, you'll get to see the Hextronics Universal and the Anzu Raptor T at the booth. So please come by, drop a visit if you are coming along and participating in Commercial UAV Expo. So see you all there. Kurt, over to you now.
Yeah, no, it's an honor to be in this industry and to be considered a drone person, I guess. And from there, I really want to say how excited I am to see what people build with the technology that we put together, because I really think that the general contractors or the site managers or the first responders of the future will be really leveraging the capability that we've put together today. And I think there's no better time to start on the future than now. Obviously, primarily because of the advances that we have made with this partnership and with this capability of kind of a full stack solution, all put together, all heads in the room, ready to go. So thank you all for coming here today.
All right, Achal, last words.
Yes, absolutely. So first, yeah, it's time up, but quickly like to thank Randall and Kurt for taking our time. Of course, they're doing phenomenal work with their products and what they're doing for the industry. They have been at it for years now, and that is what it takes. And I would second the thoughts Randall shared. It's all about collaboration, people coming together for this to happen, right? Single company doing everything, we've seen it doesn't work that way, right? And that is where we are also very open to work with distributors, with system integrators, drone solution providers, because this is not something where neither Anzu or Hextronic or FlytBase is going and getting it to the end customer, right? We of course work closely so you can adapt these tools, bring them together, configure it as per your requirements, and deploy it for various use cases. So there are still a lot of pieces of puzzle that you guys would contribute. I'm sure a lot of people, familiar names and audience who has been part of this journey so far, and we look forward to collaborating more. So yeah, with that, I would like to end this webinar and flight launch and successfully getting some case studies in the next few months, and we'll all see you at the Commercial UAV Expo.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day out there. Signing off until the next flight launch.
Bye bye.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
everyone.